Hey everybody, Mo here, and today, welcome back. I'm going to bring you guys the first Sweaty Thursday of the new season. The first Sweaty Thursday after Worlds. This is post hotfix, so this is up-to-date stats, up-to-date meta, all that stuff coming in big for the weekend where we have, I believe, two big tournaments. We have the OLS, which is a big tournament that's free entry. And we also have the Mastering Runeterra $1,000 tournament, which has a $20 entry fee, but first place gets like $500 or $400 or something like that. So definitely worth it if you feel pretty confident, or if you just straight up want to test your skills. I know a lot of people don't like the entry fee tournaments, but in my eyes, I always paid for entry fee tournaments growing up, playing card games like Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, because that's where the good players are. The good players are going to be in these tournaments because they're going to feel confident to win. They enjoy these really large prize pool tournaments, so give yourself a chance to win some cash. But also, if anything, you're paying $20 for a learning experience to play against some of the best players in the world that are going to come and play in these tournaments, trying to get these really big cash grabs. So very, very worth it if you are an aspiring competitive player or a competitive player trying to get better and also have a chance to win you a little bit of cash there. But yeah, we're back. Take a big break for Worlds. I had a lot of Worlds prep, a lot of basically it was just Worlds prep back to back to back right after seasonal. So I had a big seasonal prep, top 8 of that. Had Worlds prep, didn't do so hot there. I lost to my teammate, but my teammate made it into top 16, the Tank Buster. Congrats to him. And he ended my run in Worlds. Yeah, so that didn't go too hot for me, and I was a little bit burnt out because I just played so much LoR in such a short amount of time. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have top 8'd LoR seasonals before, but prepping for that stuff is not easy. So jamming, prepping for that, making top 8 for that was not very easy, and then immediately jam prepping for Worlds, not very easy thing to do, very time consuming, very mentally, just consuming. A lot of LOR was consumed for me. Now I need a little bit of a break, but we're back now. We're going to be back with Meta Mondays, Sweaty Thursdays, and then probably at least 1 to 2 gameplay or deck guide style videos. So for those of you guys that liked LOR, there's that. And also, just a quick little mention, I have a second YouTube channel now for Pokemon stuff. Because I've been enjoying Pokemon on the break. I've been playing a little bit of competitive Pokemon, playing in a tournament, playing in a couple tournaments there, done some shiny hunting, all that type of stuff, some cool Pokemon videos. So if you're interested in Pokemon, either competitive or just the Pokemon franchise at all, go join, check out that second channel of mine. But today, we are finally back with this, Sweaty Thursday. So let's get into it. I looked at all the stats. For those of you thinking, well, Mo, you don't play LOR. Why are you telling me about the meta? I'm still in a lot of Discords. I read up, and I actually have started playing LOR again, just so that way I could get back into the motion of things, because I don't want to just go in blind to give you guys, a bunch of decks that I don't even know how to play. I don't know anything about. I don't know the stats on them. So, I did my research, got back into it, so I'm prepared to give this to you guys. So we'll start off with how every Sweaty Thursday goes for those of you new to the channel and new to the series, where I'm going to give you guys the best decks for the weekend for ladder, and I'll give you guys the lineup I would play personally in a major tournament like the Mastering Runeterra tournament or OLS, or even Gauntlet if you're trying to get your prime glories. And these videos are basically for the people that only have the weekends to grind. Maybe you work a 9-to-5 job, but you can't grind hours every single day, or you have a family, you have kids, you just have a general social life, and you don't have a bunch of hours to be pouring into this game every single day, so you can't keep up with the meta shifting from Monday to Thursday and going into the weekend. That's what this video is for. This video is for you guys. So with all of that intro out the way, I know it's kind of long, but I kind of want to let you guys know that I am back, and you guys can expect more LOR content, consistent LOR content again from me going into the new year and starting literally today, next week. Yeah, let's get into it. So the two decks I would use on ladder for this weekend are going to be Lulu Jinx. Lulu Jinx, kind of this like discardy. I don't really know what the names of people are calling this, but basically just Lulu Jinx with Sneezy Biggle Dust. This deck actually has the highest win rate in the game right now. I think it's like 58. Actually, it has the second highest. The first highest is Seraphine Victor Ionia, but I think that deck is like really, really hard and bad, and you have to play like perfectly to get that win rate. Because you could tell, because the top players for that deck all have an average win rate of like 60%, and the top players for this deck all have a win rate of like 80%, literally. So go look at the stats, and again, all this is post hotfix stats. So this deck is really insane, and this would be my first option to pick for ladder. I think it's really solid. You just have this really nice aggressive game plan. You're going to be beating out a lot of the slower game plans. You're going to be beating out a lot of the random decks, especially if you're in, you know, Masters now or low LP, like low Masters LP or just lower ranks. People are going to be kind of just playing random stuff. They're going to be playing with Rise. They're going to be playing their, you know, new cards and new decks that they want to try out. And you just get to be the fun police and say, sorry, buddy, I'm here for the LP. I'm here, you know, I'm trying to get those ladder points. I'm trying to get that ladder ranking so I can get seasonal 7-2 spottings. You know, all that stuff you're aiming for. You know, this would be the deck I would use. This actually is going to be the deck I'm using, paired with the second deck here, which is going to be Aatrox, Vayne, Quinn. So Aatrox, Vayne, Quinn, extremely strong deck. This is really, you know, reminiscent of the just PNZ, like PNZ Demacia deck that a lot of people brought to Worlds. But instead of being PNZ Demacia, you're playing Aatrox Demacia, so you get to play the Darken and stuff like that. I believe this deck is insanely strong into other mid-range decks, just because the amount of like challengers you get. Obviously, you have the Darken Harp, so you still have the Quick Attack Challenger package. Really good. Obviously, you just have Aatrox being a fucking unit, so it's essentially the Quain, you know, the Vayne Quinn. I've played for so long, I forgot the champions' names. The Vayne Quinn core that people brought, like literally Floppy Mudkip brought to Worlds, you know, the last seasonal champion we had in NA. Like people brought this to Worlds, top 16, you know, and it was essentially that type of core, but with Aatrox instead of PNZ, which I think makes the region feel a lot more complete. And just being able to play all the different Darkens and is just like, it makes the deck a lot stronger than with the PNZ core. Like you have to go into PNZ essentially for Darken Harp. Aatrox just says like, okay, what if you got to play Darken Harp, but then also just other really good Darken stuff. So just very solid here. And so those are the two decks I would play on ladder. I personally, because I have more of an aggressive playstyle, I like to play low to the ground. I would probably play the Jinx Lulu more, also because I have Jinx Lulu skins. So I'm more inclined to play this one, but I'm going to be flopping between these two back and forth. This one is just a lot better into mid-range and control, but the Lulu Jinx is just kind of better into the random stuff, and it also can steal games away. You just get these explosive openers, and like, oops, I sneezy Biggle Dust, you'll killed you on turn like 5 or 6. And that's really good before they can even play their Aatrox and stuff like that. And so those are the two decks I'll play on ladder. So now going into the tournaments, if I was playing in the OLS tournament this weekend, or if I was playing in the $1,000 Mastering Runeterra tournament this weekend, this right here would be my lineup. This lineup completely shuts down control. This has one really good deck into aggro, a mirror match essentially into aggro, and this deck is very not good into aggro, but it can steal a win here and there, unless they are triple aggro. If there's like double aggro and then a medium deck, you could probably beat that. But this lineup right here beats Seraphine decks. This lineup beats control decks. This lineup is just 3 very good decks, therefore it's going to just simply beat bad random decks. And your only really like hard bad matchup that I would not want to face would be something that's just triple degen aggro of like discard aggro, you know, some type of champion strengths, like, you know, aggro core, something like that, like triple aggro craziness. But if you're not playing against that, this lineup is very solid. The decks, of course, are going to be no surprise to people that keep up with the meta. It's going to be the Acolyte deck with Ziggs. Mono Ziggs Acolyte deck is extremely strong, received a hotfix, but hey, guess what? It's still extremely strong. Like, it's definitely strong enough to beat the random stuff people are bringing to this first weekend, since we did just get this hotfix, you know, really soon. And it hasn't been enough time for the hotfix to totally adapt the meta and like warp the meta. So this deck is still going to be stronger than most brews people are going to bring. It's going to be stronger than the Rise decks. It's going to be stronger than the Seraphine decks. It's just going to be stronger than the random decks. And then again here, we're not going to go over this deck too much because it is the one I just talked about, which is the Jinx Lulu deck. So again, Jinx Lulu Sneezy Big with us, exact same deck code. And of course, as always, all of these deck codes will be in the description below in link form, so that way you can catch them on mobile. If you're watching YouTube mobile, I got you. Because for those of you wondering why I always post deck codes in link form, and if you're a content creator, why you should be posting your deck codes in link form in your YouTube description, is because if somebody watches your video on mobile, they can't actually copy your description. I think it's either without copying the entire description, or I think on iPhone, the YouTube app just doesn't let you copy the description, period. So if you put it in link form, people can click on the or tap on the links, and it'll just open up the Runeterra AR for that deck, and then Runeterra AR lets them, you know, export the code, get the code pasted into their game and stuff like that. So that's why I just post them as links. So if you're ever wondering, hey, where's the deck code? All you have are links here. That's why they're in link form. But the links to all of these codes will be in the description below. They'll all be titled like Jinx Lulu, Aatrox Vayne, Quinn, Aatrox Kayn, and Acolytes. So make sure to check the description out for those. So yeah, I'm not going to go over that one too much. And then the last deck is going to be Aatrox Kayn. So again, the reason I put Aatrox Kayn here instead of Aatrox Vayne Quinn is because Aatrox Kayn overall is going to be more flexible. This is going to beat control harder, which is what you want. It's going to beat the Seraphine decks harder. It's going to beat the control decks harder. It's going to be a little bit more polarizing than your Vayne Quinn deck is. And you are better into aggro, so it forces out a ban from the aggro opponent if you do hit them, and then if you don't, you're still kind of chilling. Because it is a little bit different than ladder, where it's just best of one, you know, closed deck list, best of three. You really want something to complement your other two decks here, and so this complements it by still beating control, and then you're much better into aggro with this deck than any of the other two. So it essentially forces out a ban from your opponent and lets you pick, okay, what are the best two decks for my other two decks to play into? Because you know this one's getting banned, so it makes your pick ban strategy much more simple. It makes that flowchart come down, and like takes a complete like third of your options off on the flowchart, which is super big and helping your decision making before the game. And then yeah, so this is gonna be really anti-aggro. You got Keeper of the Box, Kayn Aatrox. You guys probably know this is pretty similar to Kayn Vayne, except you get to play Aatrox, because you know Aatrox extremely strong, Aatrox really strong. Really good into control because you just like constantly summon, or not constantly summon him, but you guarantee summon him, guarantee get one to your hand. World Ender good, and then yeah, I mean it's Kayn Aatrox. Deck's very solid mid-range deck, beats control, beats Seraphine, beats what you want it to beat, beats aggro. This deck is really solid. The only thing it does lose to is going to be, you know, those hard mid-range decks that want to try and target it really hard, but most of the time it's just ban bait, so people are just going to ban it. And you just have to figure out what two decks you want these two to play against here. So, or if people are hard targeting the Aatrox Kayn deck, then they're going to have a hard time dealing with these two. So you just have to find a way to squeak out a win with the Kayn Aatrox and be with these two. That's the good thing about this, is your lineup is very hard to get hard targeted, because if they go all in to beat like the Acolyte deck, well, now they're left open from Aatrox Kayn. Or if they go all in to beat Aatrox Kayn, well, now they're going to catch strays from these two like aggressive style decks, you know, combo deck. So, or combo deck with Easy Biggle Dust. So that's why I really like this lineup, because it makes the pick ban phase really complicated for your opponent, and makes it pretty easy for you, because you know you're essentially like one of your two decks is getting hard targeted, and you just have to pick what two is best for your other two that aren't getting targeted. But that's gonna be it for this Sweaty Thursday. I hope you guys do well. Hope it gains you all the LP. Hope it helps you top cut your season, or not your seasonals, helps you top cut your tournaments this weekend. Hope everything goes well. Hope you learn a lot. Again, I'll also have a link to those tournaments down in the description below as well, if you're wondering where to sign up for those. So join the Discord, #1 place for competitive. LoR, coming back to it. We're gonna have a bunch of competitive talk going in my Discord. There's always competitive people talking there, trying to find deck codes, trying to solve deck codes together. Join my Discord for any type of gaming stuff like that has to do with competitive LoR. #1 place for it. Very compact, very easy to read. Discord's not a mess, it's very organized. So there's that. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoy this LoR competitive content. Like, subscribe, and comment if you're excited for me to be back and go back to posting competitive content. And a lot of people have been asking for a while now. So I'm back posting competitive content, at least 3 videos a week. We'll be back to consistent mo. And yeah, we're gonna see, we're at like 7,900 subs right now, almost 8,000 subscribers. Absolutely fucking bonkers. If we can hit 8,000 subscribers before the end of the year, that would be fucking insane to me, an insane number. And yeah, my birthday's coming up, so I'll probably do a birthday stream, so more on that in the next video once I figure out all the details for that. So that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.